Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Drinks with Johnny show. Season 5 is here. We're starting it. It's our first episode. There's going to be a lot of big changes here on this show coming. And one of the main ones, I'm going to introduce my two co-hosts, which many of you listeners at home already know these two guys, but I'm going to reintroduce them. We got Brandon Lombardo, our director, graphic designer, man of many traits, right over there, and our producer and booking agent, Sam Hawkins. This season, they are going to be co-hosting with me, guys. Every single episode, one or two of these guys are going to be here. We're going to have some guests stop by. We're just going to be covering topics. Like today, we're going to be getting into the weekend that was WrestleMania, all the fun things that happened in wrestling. Me and Sam got to go to SoFi. Sorry, Brandon, you couldn't make it. And we had an absolute blast. We're going to be talking about all that. Our friend and comedian Brad Williams is going to be stopping by the show in a little bit here to weigh in. He was there last night. Really excited to hear his take on some of the matches that we watched. But this is how we're going to do this season, guys. Every week, probably twice a week at this point, we're going to be talking, just the three of us like we usually would, covering topics that we want to talk about, and including some from you guys at home. If you are following us on social media, go on our YouTube channel, do whatever, and reach out to us. Tell us your topics. We're going to be finding them, looking for them, and picking them out. Or an even better way is to go to our Discord, become a filthy animal, join our Discord, join our membership. You get ad-free stuff. You get a bunch of cool shit. And there's a thread in there for topics. And we're going to be covering one of those topics today from our friend and OG, Bia, wants to know about our favorite and least favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs. So I'm going to be asking you guys about that. Yeah, that's pretty much how this new format's going to go. This is our first test drive. We've talked about it a little bit, guys, but we really don't know how the fuck this is going to go down. We're just trying some new shit.
Well, you talk so much, I don't know how this is going to go down.
Yeah.
Fuck,
are we allowed to talk now?
Intro ever.
Hey, I'm the one that's been hosting for the last 4 fucking seasons, all right?
Part of management is being able to delegate and share responsibilities. So I think that's what we're here to do. Lighten your load, bring some more conversational to this, and just continue the fun between these three homies we have here for you guys. And hopefully you guys have as much fun as we do. That's the goal here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brandon, you got anything you want to add to that?
I don't know, dude. You already talked for a fucking mile a minute there. So
fuck you, dude. I had to tell the people about the new format. Did you want to take it? Do you want to run the?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to take that on. Honestly, I'm just salty that you guys got to go to Mania and I didn't. So it's okay. I'm going to get that out now. We'll end the saltiness. It's going to be positivity from here on out.
Well, let's just start with that. Brandon, where were you when you were watching it?
On my couch.
So did you watch both days or did you only get to watch Sunday? Because I know you were busy on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday night I went out, but I caught up Sunday afternoon. I watched everything. I literally just finished the tag match from night one. I went back and watched it. That was the only match I didn't see. Dude, it was all right. So here's my perspective on this. You guys had fun. You got to be there in person and experience that whole atmosphere and like the energy that is WrestleMania. But I got to watch it on TV and actually see like the good cuts and everything, right? You guys watched Ants.
Well, this is why it's actually a really great perspective, because you and I talked the other day, Brandon, and I was going to rewatch it before we recorded, and I said, no, we're going to get your perspective of watching it as on TV and ours as being there, and we're going to compare the two experiences, I think, which is...
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different experience.
Well, we didn't even get to see the first match. We rolled in.
We watched it on my phone. We
were standing in line getting food for the kids because I brought my kids that first night, and Johnny brought his son, Frankie. And we were standing in line to get the kids fed so they didn't turn into monsters. And we actually bumped into the David Arquette was right next to us trying to find his spot. So it was kind of fun to see a fellow wrestling fan out there and doing things. What'd you think of that?
Sam.
What'd you think about it?
No.
What?
We got to back up.
Oh, I mean, wrestler.
Fan. You're talking about a former world champion. Right?
Yeah, dude. You don't call him a wrestling fan.
No,
He held the big gold belt, motherfucker.
Well, and also, after watching his documentary, I completely respect the guy. I feel like he's gotten such a bad rap back in the day. I mean, that guy is hardcore. He gives it all, and I don't know. I wish he would come back, to be honest with you. I don't know how the fans would take it, but I would love to see him back.
He's got to be inducted in the Hall of Fame at some point. A champion actor, like at some point, he's got to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh man, That
Speaking of Hall
documentary
of
when
Fame,
he's bleeding.
we're talking about WrestleMania, obviously, and there's a whole weekend, and there's a whole bunch of shit that we're going to be getting into. As I did say, Brad Williams is going to be stopping by the show to give his perspective too. But real quick, I didn't finish the Hall of Fame yet. I know Brandon did. Since we're talking about the Hall of Fame, the Andy Kaufman getting an induction was fucking awesome. I had no idea. Like, I knew the story. I just watched the Jerry Lawler biography on A&E a couple weeks ago, or last week, whatever the fuck it was. Love that whole story. But then to see him, like, and his family talk about how he was such a diehard wrestling fan before it, and it wasn't just a stunt. Like, he just wanted to live that out as a dream. It got me thinking. I told Sam this. It got me thinking. Maybe one day. I was a kid that wanted to fucking be a wrestler one day, you know?
Dude, you just got to start calling out women and wrestling women. That's it.
Like,
but I'm not as
or
badass
create
as
an energy drink.
I'll get fucked
That's the other
up.
one.
Those chicks will beat my ass.
Fuck, man. Yeah, dude. Andy Kaufman was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
100%, man. Like, he knew it. I mean, it's just cool to see that entertainment crossover.
I'd be curious of what he'd be like today, because he technically would still be alive, and how involved he would have gotten in it, because everything's grown so much more than when he
I think Brandon just nailed it. He'd be fucking canceled.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true.
Unfortunately, that's the reality. Oh, my voice just cracked. How's your voice today, Sam? I mean, after being there for those 2 nights, my voice is a little fucked right now. I'm not.
Oh man, it's 2 days of yelling over with all the excitement and talking over crowds and stuff. Yeah, no, and our car ride home, which we can get into later, and
if we have time.
Yeah. So back on the thing. So starting at the top here, we got what do you think of having John Cena? Did you see him? We didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no one's
everyone listening at home doesn't know that we just did the can't see me face. You know?
Running joke of the night that was.
Okay. Yeah, dude, John Cena's a G, man. I don't know. For the longest time, everyone hated him, right? Because he was always the good guy. He was there. He overstayed his welcome in the grand wrestling perspective, you know. But bro, just seeing him come back now and wrestle is awesome. Like,
well, I felt like didn't you feel like they did a good job of, they can't let him win, but they got to let him win at the same time. So they kind of got both of them to, isn't that kind of what happened on that match?
I think it was fucked up. They brought all the Make-A-Wish kids out to watch them lose.
Oh.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. We didn't see that
That's the perspective that we don't see when you're in line at the barbecue joint at SoFi. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we learned the second night that we learned later that there's actually a fucking waiter that comes and you could just order from him. And we were like, damn it.
Oh, man.
Because we were in a suite. Live Nation, guy Omar over there, shout out, hooked us up, and we were in a suite over at SoFi, which I've never been. I've only been to the football games there, so I didn't know that they have a waiter. I guess it depends on different shows or whatever, but like there was a waiter, brought us drinks and food and everything. So shout out to Live Nation for hooking us up on that. That was awesome.
For the bathroom alone, the suite is worth it. You don't have to wait long. You
Shit,
go,
right?
you don't miss anything,
no bathroom
you come
lines.
Right back.
But it is interesting. Before we get back into the wrestling real quick, as we're talking about being there, we're going to jump all over the place, listeners at home, just so you know, this is how we do it. It is a pain in the ass getting to different sections at SoFi.
Oh yeah.
We tried. So our good friend Brandy Rhodes, obviously Cody's wife, was there last night. I was texting with her. We tried to get to her suite. She had the baby, so she couldn't move very many places. And even with my suite tickets, I couldn't get to her suite. It was weird. So we were like, fuck. So, you know, we'll have her on the show later on in the season too to talk about that. And even Brad, I couldn't get to Brad yesterday. We were trying to get to Brad, and the sections, you just can't fucking find it. It's amazing there. But I understand, because it makes it easier to get in and out to your seat, but you can't find your friends. It's crazy there.
It's like bittersweet.
I got a question for you, because you guys were there. They kept calling it a sellout on the show. Was it a legit sellout?
Oh yeah, that was a legit sellout. That place was fucking.
There was not an empty seat. It was rad. It was really cool to see that many people. It almost felt like just going to Europe and like seeing the Coliseum and stuff. And the stage, you see it on TV. I don't think you can realize how massive.
I'm sorry to cut you off. We'll get back into this. Brad's here already, so let's bring on Brad Williams, comedian, wrestling fan, obviously. Love this dude. We're gonna get his perspective on it too. We haven't even got into the wrestling too much yet, but hopefully he can help us out here with some of the weekend. What's up, Brad? How are you today, brother?
Hey guys, I just hopped on. Can you hear me? Is the audio okay?
Audio and video looks good, man. You're all good to go. We just started. We barely talked about the John Cena and Austin Theory match, so you got us right at the top of the show here, brother. So,
hell yeah.
How was your night last night?
Hey, I got to go to WrestleMania. This is my second WrestleMania. The last WrestleMania I went to was WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden. That's the one where Brock fought Goldberg and everyone booed because they all knew that both of them were leaving. That was a fun one. But no, I only went to night 2. I thought WrestleMania was great. I thought all the matches were awesome. There's a couple nitpicky things, but of course, it's like watching an episode of Saturday Night Live. Nothing ever is going to be perfect the entire episode, But I was really happy until the ending of the main event.
Okay. I was texting you already, Brad. We're going to get into that in just a second. We're going to get into that in just a second because I disagree. I already know that I disagree with you, Brad. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be fun. This is our first episode, by the way, of the season, doing it this way too, where our guests are just going to stop in and talk about topics. So you're breaking our cherry here, buddy, and I appreciate it.
Oh, I haven't popped a chair in a long time, so this is exciting.
Good. I want to hear your gripes. You want to hear
his gripes right away? We're going to go right into that, right?
Let's just do it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
What was it?
Here's my gripes, man. The whole thing, the whole hashtag for the whole thing is finish the story. You got a story that was laid into your lap. That was the perfect story. The prodigal son comes home. The guy wasn't WWE. He leaves WWE because all you had for him was that Stardust character. And then he goes on his own, builds up a wrestling company. Your chief rival. You poach him from the rival. He comes home because he wants to go back to the WWE, the biggest and best wrestling company in the world. He comes back. Huge pop at WrestleMania last year, beats Seth Rollins. Then he gets hurt. Oh my God, what an injury! But he toughs it out. Comes back again. Wins the Royal Rumble. Is more over than anyone who has ever been over in the history of that company. And then you have it all built up. Finish the story. Hell, his old theme music even ties into the current storyline. Wrestling has more than one royal family. That was initially supposed to be a dig at Vince. Now it's a dig against Roman and the bloodline. Holy shit, this storyline is so good. It all builds to him going to WrestleMania, winning the title. His family is there. His Cuban mom is there. His wife is there. His baby is there. He gives the weight belt to Brody Lee Jr. What else do you need? All you need is the ending of the story. You had the perfect Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens interference. All he had to do was hit the 2 crossroads at the end, and then boom, 1, 2, 3, the place explodes. Everyone goes home happy. We wake up in the morning to find out that UFC and Vince now are one, and now we're excited for this new merger. Now I'm like, oh great, Vince is back in charge. Because as I was driving to WrestleMania, I told my buddy, I said, you know what? The rumor is that Vince was on the headset for night 1, and it wouldn't surprise me if Vince goes, Roman has to win. Roman has to win. Why? Well, because we got to save it. We got to save the title for somebody. But there's nothing better than that storyline last night. There's nothing to save it for. My friend was trying to justify it. He's like, well, maybe he's gonna win it in Puerto Rico at Backlash because he's part Cuban and that he's an island and Bad Bunny. It's like he's trying to.
There's no way to do that one.
He's trying to convince himself. Cody doesn't even really identify as Cuban. He doesn't. He said that in an interview earlier. They tried to push him as Cuban one time. They had him as the face of Latin heritage.
Dude, maybe he's going to join LWO. They brought LWO back, dude. Maybe he's going to join an LWO.
So my beef is that they had the perfect storyline, and the press conference afterward Triple H said, yeah, it makes sense because the whole thing is finish the story. And in wrestling, the story's never done. Bullshit, the story's never done.
I don't know, man. I think I'm siding with my boy Triple H on this one. I don't know, man. From my perspective, when we were watching that match last night, so many teases at the finish. I mean, it was so good. The storytelling in that ring during that match it's the best match, and I'm not even kidding. It is the best match I can remember watching. And I've been watching since I was fucking 1 year old, right? It's like one of the best storytelling I have ever seen in ring at that moment. Yeah. We're talking more about the build-up, Brad. I totally appreciate that. But if I'm a fan at SoFi last night, I walked away happy because so many false finishes, so many cool storytelling things that were happening. That you brought up the Usos coming in, KO and Sammy coming in, running. I mean, it was just awesome. And so many false finishes. You thought Cody was going to win so many fucking times. Yeah. And then he didn't. And it's like that heartbreak. And everybody in the room was just going, what the fuck did I just see? And to me, that is the most brilliant writing I have seen out of a WWE in so fucking long.
It pulled a lot of
emotion. So you just fucked with everybody's emotions. Yeah. And that's what makes us fucking wrestling fans.
Guess what? So if you watch 10 years of Marvel movies leading up to Avengers Endgame, and then right before Tony Stark does the snap, Thanos just reaches out, squishes his head like a bug, he puts on the glove, and then he snaps. I'm like, I'm out. I'm freaking out.
But we'd still be talking about it. We'd still be talking about how amazing that ending was. And that's just what we're going to be talking about for a long time now.
And then you still wait for that moment. Yes. You're still waiting for him.
I would be talking about, and I am talking about, obviously, that ending. So in that way, they succeeded. In that way, I have to say they succeeded if they wanted people to get talking. But my thing is like, and I've had this issue with WWE before, and that's why I'm a proud AEW guy. It's that
love them both.
They get. And yeah, you don't have to be one or the other. You can be both. I'm not that guy that's like, you have to pick. No, it's whatever. It's fine. Have fun. Wrestling is fun. Yeah. But it's because all too often, and you saw it with Brock, WWE gets locked into one guy and just says, this is the guy. No one's going to beat him. Nothing can happen. And, you know, whether it's Brock beating Kofi in 5.5 seconds when...
Dude, that was way more shit. That's a shitty storyline. That's a shitty storyline. Yeah. This one, I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
The storyline was excellent. It was perfect until the end.
I disagree. I love the end. It felt with everybody.
Good.
We were with kids. We were with kids. These kids... I was there with my singer Matt and his kids and our really good friends, the Berries, who've worked with us forever, and one of their sons. And you just looked at them and they were in disbelief. It was so fucking genuine and
were
awesome.
They in tears? Were they in tears?
They weren't in tears yet. They weren't in tears, but they definitely were like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And I was like, "That's brilliant to me." Like,
because the hero didn't win.
What the fuck? Yeah.
You know what would be shocking? Shooting Santa Claus in the head in front of your children. That would be shocking. So let's do that because that's good.
Hey, I mean, Raging Rudolph. They did that with Raging Rudolph. You remember that claymation?
Well, I do feel like that it kind of took away too from the disappointment because obviously they had some technical difficulties in the match before with what's his name slicing his eye open. They had to cut it short from what I hear.
Balor.
So I don't know what it felt like for you, Brandon, as a watcher on TV, but there was a lot of waiting around. There was a lot of like, hey, the day before was a lot more smoother than this. Were you there both days, Brad?
I was just there. Yeah, I was just there day 2, but the 2 major botches, which I'll love to talk about. It's weird calling the Finn Balor thing a botch just because, I mean, holy crap. Yeah. Like you saw the photo of him online. You saw that gash in the head. You're like, yeah, because I saw some guys like, man, what happened to like blood? It's wrestling. It's like, no, look at that gash. You stop. Yeah. You stop that match. And
there's a reason why they did in-ring staples, right? Like they usually would just like take him to the back and do that. They had to start suturing him up right there in the spot.
My God. So hats off, tip of the cap to you Finn Balor, because not only did you have to go through that, but then after it happened, and after I saw his feet twitch in the ring when he was getting his staples because it was hurting him so bad, he then comes back and, like it's nothing, puts on an amazing match. I love that Hell in a Cell. I thought the storytelling was great. I mean, from a build, from that whole storyline, and then the match itself, the entrances, everything, but obviously the staples. For me, that match was great. My favorite botch, and I feel bad for him, but I don't, was the Shane McMahon. That made me laugh so hard.
I didn't even realize what had happened, Brad. I popped when I heard the music. I was in the bathroom. I came out and I was like, "Fucking Shane O'Mac's back, baby, let's go!" Yeah. And then that shit happened, and I was like, "Is that real? Did he really just get fucked up?"
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Snoop and Miz are hosts, and they did a match the night before. So for this match, they're like. They basically like impromptu, like Snoop has booked a match unbeknownst to Miz, and he says, "All right, here's my guy." Shane O'Mac's music hits, and 52-year-old Shane McMahon comes out. He's scooting, he's punching, he's doing the whole thing.
His whole thing, man.
Crowd's going nuts, and then Shane comes down. He goes, "We're gonna start the match right now." Go. Shane does a couple of punches. And then he throws Miz against the ropes. Shane leapfrogs Miz. When he lands, ACL gone. It's gone. Shane goes down. Miz keeps running the ropes because he's like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. He just keeps running the ropes, and it's obvious that Shane is not getting up. I don't know who told Snoop to do this. If Snoop called an audible, I don't know what happened.
Brilliant.
Right.
I didn't realize that was all.
Yeah. Well, where we were, we didn't. I'm sure you haven't woken up, Sam, and started reading everything of what happened. But from where we were at, we couldn't really. Again, it's good to get a different perspective. Like Brandon, who watched it at home, and we were watching it live. It was chaotic. You didn't really understand what the fuck was happening. But yes, Snoop apparently called an audible and fucking laid out the Miz, which was awesome. Like, what a G. So what a fucking G.
So
He's like, oh, there's 81,000 motherfuckers watching this right now. What do? I'm going to pop them in the mouth.
Yeah. He punches Miz. Miz gets up and it's kind of like, what are we doing? Snoop punches him again, and then Miz stays down, and then Snoop gives the lamest yet best people's elbow of all time.
Oh, the people's elbow. I forgot about that. That was so sick. I was dying. Oh, the guys in the suites next to me, we were all looking at each other. Well, The Rock's coming. The Rock's coming right now. We were all, because he's been hinting towards it. Obviously, it didn't happen. The Rock did not make it to Hollywood. But, you know, I was half expecting that to happen. You know, I'll be honest. I would have popped. I mean, there's so many pop moments fucking the whole weekend. But, like, that was, when he dropped the people's elbow, it was the best. It was the best worst people's elbow, as you said, Brad. It was so fucking good.
When Snoop ran the ropes, you could tell that he's like, I'm not touching these things. These are hard. So he like barely, he the ropes like kissed his tracksuit, and that was
Dude,
about
what a
it.
Tracksuit, by the way, Lakers tracksuit. That was
fantastic.
Well, did you see, Brad, that they had Snoop merch there, WrestleMania merch that said Dog Pound and had Snoop and stuff on it?
Brilliant.
I do.
Brilliant.
Genius marketing.
It's like, and this is the thing about wrestling that will always happen. As much as I'll complain about AEW, I'll complain about WWE. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan, and I enjoyed it. And overall, the show was fantastic. I had a great time. I thought the Bianca Belair match was fantastic with Asuka. Honestly, I thought match of the night in terms of night 2. And Johnny, I want to know your perspective on this because of you were in the stadium. I thought match of the night was the Intercontinental Championship match. I thought.
Ooh, I might have to agree with you on that. I'm stuck thinking about Cody and Roman, of course, because I enjoyed that one so much.
Yeah.
But on a technical speaking and the way the crowd react, I mean, the back and forth between those three dudes. I'm a huge Gunther fan. Like, I love the other guys too, but like, I'm a huge Gunther fan. That's a solid pick right there, dude. That's a solid pick.
For me, that was match of the night. In terms of as a technical aspect, in terms of what they did in the ring. But yeah, I will say that two matches to me stood out even more than the main event for the what the fuck, and that was the opening contest with Brock and Omos. It's like Omos is a skyscraper on wheels. He not
even from where we were sitting. I know where you were sitting because I tried to go to your fucking seat. So I couldn't. By the way, sorry I couldn't make it. Those sections at SoFi are fucking weird.
It's weird. Anyway, it's a maze.
It's a total maze. So anyway, but like my point is, even from where we were at, Sam, you could see the size of Omos from the fucking suite, and I was like, that motherfucker's big. That's a different kind of big.
Yeah, and there's no squinting to see them. You could see every move. You could see them.
Yeah,
it was. And what a brilliant. At first, I was like, why are they giving me Brock Lesnar to open the fucking night? You know, and I was like, and then after it made perfect sense. Once again, I was just like, that just got everybody involved.
It's a perfect starter match. Starter match.
Everybody, it's larger than life. It's WrestleMania. It's Hollywood, baby. That set the tone for that night, and I think that did. I have to say it did better than Austin Theory and Cena at night one at starting it off. Because I mean, again, we were talking. We missed a good part of that one because me and Sam were at concessions when that happened.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel the same at night one after that first match. But night two, everybody was invested after seeing those two larger than life characters in the ring go at it. Like that was you knew what you were there for when that happened.
Johnny, I'm also curious to get your take on the second match of the night, which was the four-way tag women's match. To me, it felt like Ronda Rousey did nothing the entire match, and then walked in. And then walked in
that one.
And then walked in the end, grabbed an arm, did the arm bar, and tap out. And I'm just like, wait, the rest of the ladies were killing it. Liv Morgan was flopping, jumping, doing all this stuff. I'm not even familiar with a lot of these female wrestlers. Whoever the female wrestler is who's supposed to be like the giant one in the ring.
What's her name?
Raquel.
Yeah.
Raquel. Great. She was fantastic. Her spots of like just no selling drop kicks and stuff was it established her as the size. It was so great. I was so entertained. And then the stuff where they did all right, one jumps out of the ring and tackles everybody. Then the next one doesn't move. Then the next one doesn't move. So great. And then Ronda just kind of walks and does the arm part. And like that was her first move of the match.
Dude, I don't know. I want Brandon to take this one because I know me and Sam didn't see that match at all. We were trying to get to Brandy Rhodes' suite again in this maze. I was texting with Brandy and she had her baby in the suite. She eventually had to go back to the bus because the baby would. But you know, you're a parent.
Yep.
Baby's got fussy, so she had to go back to the bus, and we didn't get a chance to meet up. But so I missed that entire match. I just saw them raising their arms at that point. So Brandon, you got to take this one.
Nah, you're spot on, dude. That's exactly what happened. It was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, cool. You kind of expected a little more out of it, but everyone else killed it. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from anyone in that match because they killed it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And dude, coming off of the heels of that match the night before, though, the four-way tag, holy fuck, that one delivered. That was epic, man.
Overall, I thought Mania was great. It was fantastic. I was glad I got to be there. Glad I got to watch. And like I said, you guys feel free to talk about night one. I was there for night two. I just had to come in and tell Johnny that I thought the ending was BS, and I wanted to get his take on it.
Oh, I know it's BS. That's the beauty, though. I love the BS of it. That's what I love about it.
Johnny's like that Bill Hader meme where he just stares and goes, chaos. Like that.
Hey, my bandmates do call me Professor Chaos. I'm just saying this.
That makes a lot of sense. On a side note, Johnny, I know you guys are going back on tour, and I'm going to try really hard to go to the LA show.
Yeah, dude, hit me up. Please come out. I'd love to have you as a guest.
Yeah, man. But I just had to pop in, do this little thing.
Appreciate it.
Complain with a bunch of wrestling fans. But now, guys, go back. If you want to go and check me out on tour, go to bradwilliamscomedy.com and you can see all my tour dates, and hopefully you can get some tickets. But you guys are great.
I'm going to come out. I love, by the way, everyone at home listening, watching, whatever the hell you're doing, go check out more Brad Williams. Like, this guy is a good friend of ours now, and, you know, he's just absolutely hilarious. I've been to a couple shows now of yours. I'm going to come out and see what you got cooking now on this tour. But I'm really excited to check those dates and come out and say hey.
And you're spot on with your analogy of what McMahon looks like right now with that mustache, by the way.
Oh, dude, that was such a good post this morning, dude. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Walt McMahon. I saw someone say Walt McMahon there too, and I was like, yes.
So good. Yeah.
I love that mustache. Can we talk about that real quick before you go?
No problem.
McMahon looks like a G right now. I'm fucking stoked on his look.
I think you love chaos. McMahon looks like the reanimated head of Walt Disney. He looks like Clark Gable, but like zombie Clark Gable. He looks like, and the tweet that I made was, Vince McMahon has to wrap up this press conference soon because later on today he needs to tie a woman to the train track. He's got jet
he looks
black
like a cartoon
hair.
villain, dude.
Jet black hair, pencil thin mustache. He's roided up John Waters. Like he's so many. I could write jokes about this look for Vince forever.
He just gave you a lot of material, didn't he?
Oh my God.
By the way, everyone, make sure you're following Brad too, because he's absolutely hilarious on social media as well. Like all your posts are fucking fire, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. Well, enjoy, talk more, and pretty soon, Johnny, I'll come back and we'll do like a full episode.
That sounds great, man.
Thanks,
thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you, bro.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Later.
Bye.
So yeah, that was that was fun. I'm so excited. I was so happy to get his perspective on the night because he already texted me and told me that he thought it was bullshit, and I was like, "Nah, dude, that was great. That was a fucking great ending. I loved it." So
it was good,
thanks
man.
For Brad for being on the show there, real quick, man.
It was genuine shock because I honestly thought going into it, I'm like, all right, Cody's gonna win this, right? And then, dude,
Everyone thought
genuine shock.
Did you feel? Did you think The Rock was going to come out?
I did. I believe
Yeah.
it. What was your perspective at home? Because everyone in that audience thought The Rock was coming.
Yeah, we're like, now's the time. No, now's the time.
Like I thought after like they aired a video package. It was like a replay of the entire night, and I thought, all right, cool. They're gonna come back to the live feed after this, and then like Rock comes out, right? And then no, it just ended. I don't know. Dude.
We were actually in the
see
suite
the Rock
with a dude. I believe his name is John Hammer that we met last night, right, Sam?
Yeah.
He works with WWE, and he was even like, I don't think it's over yet. And we were like, what do you mean it's not over yet? And we stayed and like talked to him for like an extra half hour before we left. And yeah, we were expecting something else to happen.
Brandon, did you see, because the stadium definitely felt like they were filling time. They were playing music, they were doing a lot of stuff they didn't do the first day because that one match ran short due to the staples and stuff. So did you feel that at home, that they were just feeding time wasting stuff, or?
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of filler, especially before. I think it was right before the main event.
Yeah.
Right before, because they did an interview with Bianca Belair, which they didn't do. I was like, they don't usually do that, and they put it over the jumbotron and stuff at her backstage. And I was like, they didn't do any of that yesterday, so that was definitely like, hey, we got to do something. Let's go talk to Bianca after she beat Asuka. You know,
Night one felt like a more polished production, just like watching it as a on-screen show. Night two was good, but yeah, night one it looked a lot smoother.
I will
about
say,
the Bobby Lashley segment? What do you think about that? That was just like,
I don't even know what the hell that was. What was that? Again, that was when I was walking around to try and get to Brad. When we didn't see it. When I heard Lashley's music, and then I was like, he had an open challenge 2 weeks ago on Raw or whatever, and he didn't have a match. I was like, what is going on with the story? I feel like they kind of fucked Bobby Lashley a little bit in storylines lately because they built up this Brock Lesnar Lashley thing. You know, you had the rubber fight, like going back and forth. Brock hits him with the low blow, kind of cheaply wins the last time they fight. Kind of thought WrestleMania would be the end of that storyline, and then they threw in the Omos, which ended up being a great match. And, they did a good job of creating that storyline, but it kind of left Bobby with like nothing to fucking do really, in my perspective.
No, you're spot on, dude. I thought he'd at least have some kind of match, but I don't know.
Did you like the Edge coming out to Slayer?
Yeah.
So here's my gripe with that.
Ooh,
you have a gripe?
Yeah, let's hear it.
No, not with the Slayer part. I thought that was great. I hate on the Trons they called him Brood Edge. Like, what the fuck, dude? Just call him Edge, man.
I don't know why they did that too. The Brood Edge was a little funny because I think they were trying to play into the rumors that Gangrel and Christian were coming back, and I was like, first of all, I don't think that's gonna happen. I did not believe any of those rumors because I was like, first of all, Gangrel, I saw him in AEW. No offense, he ain't coming to WWE. I don't think they want him right now. No offense to the man. He was a great wrestler and still is. I know he's doing a lot of stuff in the indie scene, and he's knows way more about wrestling. He's forgotten more about wrestling than I'll ever fucking know. So get that out the way. However, I don't think he's the look that they want in WWE right now, to be honest. And Christian has got a thing going over on AEW. You know, like they're building good storylines for him over there with Jungle Boy and stuff. And he just had a sick casket match with him. You know, like I think Christian's pretty happy over there from an outside perspective. I don't know for sure, but from an outside perspective, I think Christian's pretty happy in AEW right now.
It could have been a cool moment to have like Gangrel at least lead him out or something, but what they did was great. And my only gripe was that they called him Brood Edge. I think that's just bro, just call him Edge. It's like when they did the whole corporate Kane gimmick back in like, I don't know, 2015 or 16. It's like, bro, just call him Kane. It's Kane wearing a suit. Don't call him corporate Kane. That's fucking lame, dude.
I kind of like that stuff. I like the corporate Kane. I like corporate McFoley. I like the corporate.
Okay, that's like if we call you, oh, today you're rock star Johnny, but tomorrow you're going to be podcast Johnny. Like, come on, man. What the fuck?
I'm a man who wears many hats.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just little things like that I nitpick. But yeah, it was great. Dude, the Slayer was fucking awesome.
We were walking in the back. We didn't see him come out. We were walking in the back. We're like, holy shit. And it was the music for some reason was more clear than the other ones. So we thought they were actually performing live there. And we're like,
yeah, we did for a second.
Did they come out?
Oh, dude.
I thought Slayer was on the stage. We ran to our suite to go see, and then they weren't there. We're like, oh, okay. So, but yeah,
dude,
let's talk about Finn. What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did you see the hood that Edge was wearing?
We couldn't really see it. No,
bro, it was dope. Go back and watch it. It looked like something that Crystal Skulls would have made. It was like a reflective
shout out to Crystal
skull hood mask. It was fucking sick. But she would have made a better one.
There it is.
There you go, Crystal.
There it is. We're talking about Edge right now. Obviously, he does the entrance first. As the fire comes up from the middle of the stage, fucking sick, amazing entrance. Finn Balor's entrance, though, having him come out, it was funny because my buddy Matt Berry and his son Cage were like, he better come out as Demon Finn. Demon Finn has to come, and I was like, I hadn't seen Demon Finn, to be honest. I wasn't watching when he was Demon Finn.
Oh, shit.
So I got to see Demon Finn, and they popped so hard, dude. They were like, he hasn't been Demon Finn in like 2 years. I was like, oh, that's Demon Finn? I only knew him as Judgment Day Finn. Like, this is fucking sick. Like, that was a rad entrance too.
Yeah, dude, that was really cool. How many times did they swap out his fucking sticks? Because you didn't see it on the show, but like they always cut it away, like. The smoke sticks that he was holding.
I don't know that it was very noticeable.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either.
It wasn't. You just saw smoke. I didn't even really know that he was like holding them and stuff. Like I just saw cool smoke as he came down the ramp.
Also, it was a fucking dope entrance.
Coming down the ramp, the view for us, you almost see the camera people before because they're pretty close up to the people, so you don't fully get to see the flailings of their arms and stuff like that as well from the seats we were at.
Yeah, the seats we were directly, like we had a great view of the stage and ramp where they're coming down, but it was literally the other side of the stadium.
Oh, so you're like straight across.
Yeah. We're straight across looking at the stage.
That's a good seat though.
It was a great fucking seat. It was a great fucking seat. I'm not gonna deny it.
Dude, I think I started, but we stopped from it. But like seriously, the stage was unreal. Johnny wants to bring it on tour with him. But it's probably I saw Taylor Swift. That was the biggest stage I've seen in production, and this blew it out of the water. And it reminded me of like what I was saying is going to a Coliseum or something, of just a spectacle of just being like, holy crap, look how massive this is. This is insane. It was very impressive, and we were all awestruck when we first walked in. It was pretty.
Oh yeah, it was an incredible weekend, dude. Both nights.
They do a great job.
The perspective that we had, Brandon, was Saturday. we brought our kids.
Yeah.
Sunday we came with kidless. You know, Matt brought his kids, and both Matts brought their kids. So there were still kids there, so we still got that perspective. But when our kids, let's talk about Seth freaking Rollins.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
And Logan Paul. What a fucking match that was.
That was my favorite of all of them, to be honest with you. The action,
I just rewatched it,
and the storytelling.
Dude, Logan Paul is a fucking stud. Yeah. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, dude has had 3 fucking matches, and he's one of the main cards on fucking WrestleMania against Seth freaking Rollins, which is Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Frankie's one of Frankie's favorite wrestlers, so he wanted Seth to win. Sawyer, your son Sam, wanted Logan Paul to win.
So before you go forward, do you know the craze about Prime right now, Brandon? Or even Johnny, do you know how insane that is with kids?
Yeah.
I don't know that it's insane with kids. I mean, I know it's Logan's product. That's about all I know about it.
So my son has this thing where all of his friends at school just talk about Prime, not the energy drink, but the hydration drink that's basically like Gatorade. And the Albertsons and stuff that we go to, John, can't keep it. Like, it's like gold. You get it and you hoard it. And I have like some hidden to freaking bait my kid to do well. And if he does well, it's like a reward and things like that. So my son Sawyer likes Logan Paul because he's the Prime guy. And Logan Paul comes out with the Prime escorting him, right? The big Prime ball.
Yeah.
So
and he's drinking the Prime in the ring.
Yeah. By the way,
he's
brilliant marketing, right?
The guy's a genius.
So then we'll get into so my son's obviously going for Logan Paul. Frankie's going for Seth Rollins, and these 2 kids, to watch them like in your face when one does well and then back and forth. It was just like Johnny and I were just sitting back going, how fucking great is this? Like, this is amazing. So go on. You can talk about the match more, but yeah.
No, so that's what wrestling is to me, man. Like that, having a son has gotten me back into wrestling, as you guys know. Like the last 5-6 years, I've really gotten back in love with wrestling, you know? And those moments is why. Like when Sawyer and Frankie, I mean, we got a video, Sam, you got a perfect video of the end of it. My son freaking out like a fucking, I don't know. I've never seen him freak out like that.
Even
like,
Lacey said, I've never seen him like that. Yeah.
He's just screaming. My 6-year-old son, that's Seth Rollins won, and he could rub it in Sawyer's face.
That's awesome.
It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, man. And that match was, again, let's just get into Logan Paul real quick, because I know that everyone loves to hate on that guy. I love to love that guy. I think he's brilliant. I think him and his brother have obviously built an insanely smart empire, and they're doing it right. They're doing it for the right reasons, it seems like, too. You know, when I hear Logan and Jake in interviews is when I really started to become a fan of them. Because they were just saying, like, dude, I feel like the fighters in boxing and MMA aren't making the money that they should. And that's why we're kind of doing our own thing over here. And they can go. I mean, it's debatable how great they are at those sports, but the fact that they could get in the fucking ring with some of the people that they've done, it's incredible to me. I'm like, I can't even imagine doing that. That's insane. Good for you. You're obviously athletic. And kudos to the WWE to recognize Logan Paul as a fucking perfect heel for their company. Like, come on. Everyone loves to hate on this guy. Bring him to the WWE universe. Let's go. And he was all in on it. Like, and dude, even his first match last year at SummerSlam with The Miz was fucking sick. Like, the guy can go in the ring.
I mean, the guy's jumping, flipping. He's not just like showing up as a character of some celebrity or something. No, he's giving it all. Like that table when he fell on it, like, holy shit.
Dude,
he's going. You bring up a good point. Is that, like, he can go. Because you look at WrestleMania, you look at wrestling in general, they've always brought in celebrities. Fucking WrestleMania 1, you got Mr. T in the main event, right? So like, that's always been an angle they've been going for. But look at how far those celebrities have come as being ingratiated into the show and like doing the things that they're doing. It's fucking wild, man.
It's
even
so
Bad
good.
Bunny a few years ago. Fucking
Bad
awesome.
Bunny came in. It was awesome. I mean, but it's a good comparison though, because like you got another guy who's not necessarily a professional athlete going out there and taking bumps and doing spots and stuff, jumping off the top rope. Bad Bunny jumped off the fucking top rope. That was sick.
Yeah.
But Logan is definitely taking it to another level. Like he's not phoning it in. You know, he's training. You could tell the guy is training in between his matches. And my God, who do you want as a heel better than Logan Paul on the mic? Like, dude, the guy's got a fucking massive YouTube show and podcast. You know he's great on the mic, and you know he knows everybody hates him. Like it's a it's just brilliant to me. The whole concept is brilliant to me.
Brandon, what's your thought on this? Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, who did you think was in the prime suit? Did you think it was Jake? I thought it was gonna be Jake.
Oh,
it all kind of happened so fast, and like, to be honest, being there in live time, I was kind of like, I didn't even realize. I thought it was a wrestler at first, because from where I was at, I thought it was another wrestler. I was like, who did they bring back? I thought they brought somebody back, or it was like someone from the New Day or something like that. And then someone in the suite was like, no, that's like his guy that helped him create Prime, I guess, or something like that.
yeah.
Right?
So I was going to ask if you know who he is, because everybody knows that guy's name. I know him as the owner, co-owner of Prime, but I didn't know what his backing is, because I assumed that it was some other celebrity that they. I mean, I guess I could look it up, huh?
Yeah, no, he's just another influencer.
Use your phone, motherfucker.
He's another influencer. He did like reaction videos, and he got big that way. But he like dropped an album that like went fucking big in the UK. So he's in the music. So
he's just one of those. Like, I didn't even realize that. I got to check this guy out a little bit.
Well, you know,
I've never listened to him.
Johnny and I were talking, and it's kind of funny the way I was thinking about it about Logan Paul is that if he didn't kill it at boxing, like say he tried that and he got his ass whooped, he would still be a huge person with YouTube and rich, but old men like me aren't going to know who the Logan Pauls are. But the fact that he broke through that world of YouTube into and was accepted into boxing and now into wrestling. I mean, the world's that guy's at his fingertips. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, he's crushed it not only at one other genre, but now moving into a completely different medium. So, I mean, cheers to that guy.
He's just doing it all. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers to Logan Paul, man. We gotta someday reach out to that guy and see if we could get him to stop by the show, because I would love to pick his brain. I mean,
we gotta drink some Prime on the show. That's what we need.
Dude,
hey, I'll give it a taste. I mean,
I can get you some. Shanye sells it online for like $20 a bottle.
Oh, dude, Shanye.
Oh, it's crazy that markup you can do. Like I said.
Wait. He's.
I love that he's talking it though.
Hold the fuck on. I just realized what you just said. He's buying this product and reselling it. First of all, what a piece of shit. And you just called him out for profiting off of somebody else's drink. But, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal. But that is, you're telling me that this drink is that popular that there's a secondary market for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
it's insane,
shit.
dude. Like, he has updates on his phone from Sam's Club. Like, whenever it comes in stock, he gets the update, goes down, buys it, and it sells out that quick.
Dude, it goes for for a 6-pack, it's like $40 on Amazon.
What have you tasted this, Sam? Is it actually good, or is it?
So the thing, from my understanding, reading it, because I was I'm like, what? You're going so crazy over this. Let me read this. So I think what the trick is, instead of like regular water, it puts coconut water in it, so it's more hydrating than like Gatorade, or it's different. So it also gives it a little more sweetness. But the one that I really like, my son likes, it's red, white, and blue, like those popsicles that you get at like a ice cream truck, and it tastes exactly like it. So that one's my son's favorite. So that's the one we get. So the flavors are good. Gatorade's kind of watered down when you drink it. This straight has good flavor. So I get it. I don't think it's worth freaking $5 a bottle like it's going for. So
hey, if the market dictates it, that's what the market's dictating, man.
Yeah.
Kudos to Logan and his team over that Prime. You know, like fucking hey, can't hate on that shit. That's great, man.
Not.
Good for him.
Good for him, for sure.
Wow. But let's get back to a little bit of wrestling now. What was Brandon? What was the best match watching it at home for you? Like what when you're looking at the production value? You're our editor. You're our director. You're the guy who does all the camera work. How was the camera work on this weekend?
It was good. I thought the camera work was good. I've always had an issue the past few years with WWE's camera work, at least the cutting, because it would just be
that fast-paced cutting is a little weird to me too. But
too much. Yeah, it gets you dizzy almost. It's like, holy fuck, man! Like, I'm not I'm not.
But maybe that's
12.
what the kids like. Maybe we're just getting.
Yeah, no, that's what it is though. It's because of like TikTok culture and that, because it's all fast. Everything's faster.
Yeah.
It's shortened, abbreviated all at once. So they tried to cut that way too, but it seems like it's been toned down a little bit. So I don't know, dude. Nothing stood out to me as like, holy shit, this one's great. But the matches in general that stood out to me were the 4-man or the 4-way tag match from night one.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. The fucking triple threat intercontinental match was amazing.
So good.
The energy.
I love that
just
Brad brought
like,
that one up, because that one was, dude. The spot with Gunther with the 3 of them on that top turnbuckle. Oh, that was sick. That was a sick spot.
That was a great match, and the crowd seemed really fucking in on that one.
Oh yeah. The crowd was
just
watching. The crowd was in, dude. Like there was 81,000. Like they said the count at one point last night. It was electric in that SoFi, dude. It was electric. I've been to football games. It was more electric last night than when I went to see football games there.
But that's just WrestleMania in general, man. It's that energy. It's because you have people coming from all over the fucking world just to that show. And you can tell. Like I don't know. There's something about it. Like the whole city has an energy to it. Based on just WrestleMania. You're
spot on. That's why when they announced it was going to be at SoFi, the new stadium that's only been open for 3 fucking years, I hit up my agent immediately and was like, I don't care what I'm doing. I don't know what my schedule is at that point. I'm going to fucking Mania. You got to get me tickets. And it came through in great fashion. Hit up, as I said earlier on, hit up Live Nation. They hooked us up real good. And I appreciate them. But yeah, it's fucking WrestleMania. You know, like this is, I was explaining it to my wife, who's not a big wrestling fan. She's actually not a fan at all. But, I was explaining to her, I was like, I was at WrestleMania 2 when I was 3 months old. I went to another WrestleMania at Staples Center when it was still one night, and we were friends with Chris Jericho, so he was still on the card. I have a chair from the main event. It was Brock Lesnar, and I can't remember who he fought, but he's on the chair, And I'm like, this is the Super Bowl of wrestling. This is the manifesto of Vince McMahon in all of his brilliance and all of what he knows about wrestling and marketing and everything like that. It is the perfect amalgamation of all of that. And that's why it is so epic. Like, even if you're a passerby wrestling fan, you go to WrestleMania. That's Sam, by the way. Sam is
I 100%. That's me.
And
I loved it.
You could speak to this. How was it for you as, me and Brandon, definitely bigger wrestling fans than you are, but you got to experience WrestleMania in Hollywood at SoFi fucking Stadium as a passerby. What were your thoughts?
Oh, it's funny. We were talking, similar, you're talking about your wife. My wife's not a wrestling fan by any means, and she just doesn't get it. But it's funny because she goes, you know what? Wrestling was a lot bigger when we were younger. It's not that big. I go, are you kidding me? It's gigantic. It's bigger. And she goes, no, it's not. I go, okay, you watched this show called The Bella Twins. Where do you think they came from? Not only is it just a thing, but now there's offshoots where you don't even realize that you're a wrestling fan or you're watching this stuff because it's bled over into just normal, culture. But just the event itself, live events are great no matter what it is, whether you're into certain music genres and you go and you still have a good time. But WrestleMania, the pure emotion from the crowd, and I don't think I've ever heard a crowd that loud ever yelling stuff. It was, you get into it, you feel it, and we were even further away, but you are just enthralled in these ants. And usually when you're that far, where you can see it well enough, but you tend to watch the screen more. I was watching these guys go because it was just so fun to see. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I absolutely loved it. And I knew names, the bigger names, but there's a lot of people I didn't know, but I was thoroughly entertained just as much on the ones I didn't know than the ones that I did know. So it was great.
Yeah, and you just, I guess let's get a little bit more because you didn't really answer that question to Sam. But let me help you get there a little bit. So when you're looking around at all these other wrestling fans in one stadium together, what was your perspective of you're a passerby, you knew the big names, but you didn't necessarily know some of the other ones like everybody else in that stadium maybe knew, right? What was the energy like for you? Like looking at that and seeing everybody's reactions and, the people watching. I mean, you're a passerby, you're going to do some people watching, right?
Yes.
What was it like for that?
So the people watching here is great. I mean, it's funny. Someone had mentioned, I think it was one of the berries. I think it was, they're like, I really thought there was going to be a lot more like redneck looking guys. And I go, no. This is like the Academy Awards. Everybody dresses up and goes, but I mean, just seeing people dress up, the camaraderie, the people next to us that were in the suite, like you talk to the people, you feel it. It's like a one thing where you're like, oh shit, did you see that? And and you're making friends around you because you're all there for the same thing to celebrate. The people watching was absolutely fantastic. We were waiting for the berries out front, and we were even just commenting, going, man, I have no problem waiting here and just watching the people go by. We
actually saw Lacey Evans and Doc Gallows, Brando. They walked out of the entrance. Sam was like, why didn't you say hi to him? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to fucking bother them. They're like, going somewhere.
By the way, he was also, Johnny was dressed up the second day as Stone Cold. So he was one of those people. I was with.
Fuck yeah, dude. So we had a great time. The best WrestleMania I've ever been to was in New Orleans because it's New Orleans.
Yeah, I was.
You just came back.
Joey was there. Joey was there, and Joey went last night with us too. He was talking about the New Orleans one.
Joey was at that one, and it's like wrestling took over Bourbon Street. You have people dressed up as wrestlers walking up and down the street. That would be cool. And we had a first timer with us too. It was Jake Mills.
Oh,
so so we had all these wrestlers walking up and down the street. And we're fucking with Mills. We're like, hey, dude, that's so and so. Go take a picture with him, Jake. But it's like a fan dressed up. So like the entire night, we just had Jake taking pictures with all these fans that he thought were actual wrestlers. It was amazing. But at one point, there was an actual wrestler that walked down the street.
That's amazing.
Jinder Mahal was walking down the street like, holy fuck, Jake, that's Jinder Mahal. Go take a picture with him. He's like, no, it's not. You guys are fucking with me. You're like, no, this one's actually real.
You cried wolf on him so much that he didn't actually get a picture with the wrestler?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Good
we told him, We told him Joey was fucking Baron Corbin. It was great.
That is so good. That's a good prank, dude. I love that. That's a good one. Kudos. Well, man, hey, we're getting close to the hour here, and we still got to talk about our topic of the day from our fan in Discord, our family, Bia. She wants to know a little bit more about Avenged Sevenfold, but let's wrap up on the WrestleMania thing. We got to wrap up with the story, man. The sell, UFC and WWE Endeavor, that whole merger. Whoa! I mean, I was in the suite when I got the news from our agent Ryan Harlacher last night. He's like, and he actually knows Nick Khan on a side note. He's like, he was an agent for ESPN and used to park right next to me when I was going into CAA every day. And then 3 years ago, he gets called up and is now the CEO of WWE. And I was like, he was telling me the story and then about this guy that I know. And I was like, and as he's telling the story, I look at him and go, are you talking about fucking Nick Khan? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, that guy's a big deal. Anyway, so then he's like, and they just sold. He's about to make a bunch of money because they just sold or whatever. And I was like, what do you mean? It actually went through? Did the rumor was always going to be Saudis, as you know, Brandon. We thought the Saudis were going to buy it. Hopefully, as a wrestling fan, I thought Tony Khan would get together with some other people and maybe try and purchase it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm friendly with Tony, but it's not like I have inside information or anything like that. But then this side swerve here with Endeavor coming in and taking it. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest, man.
Do you think they're?
I think it's the perfect fit.
You think they'll have events with both where they'll have a real fight and a wrestling fight, so that you're actually coming to see both? Like if they did do that.
That's an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I think it could be cool. I mean, dude, you look back in late 90s, right? Like they brought in a lot of the UFC guys. They brought in the Dan Severns, the Ken Shamrocks, right? And they've worked Tank. Yeah, they worked that angle, right? They had their Lions Den matches. They've done their shoot matches.
Ken Shamrock. So we're talking about Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's
Ronda, right? Yeah, Shayna Baszler. There's a lot of fucking MMA fighters. Yeah. So I think it's a perfect fit. I think it's the same audience, or at least a lot of overlapping audience.
How do you think it changes the executive level of the company, though, as far as storylines, anything like that? Do you think they're going to be hands off with that? You think they're going to let Triple H and the crew still do their thing? Or
I mean, Yeah, maybe there's a little bit more like corporate angle to it, advertising wise, when you see like what we saw last night, where you've got matches sponsored by fucking TurboTax and whoever else. But
See, we didn't actually see that. That's a perspective that you saw at home. I didn't catch any of that.
It was heavy on the advertising side. Like you have matches that are just like sometimes, they had like the ring apron and like the outside barrier and the posts. Like for some matches, like it was just all branding.
Dude, I didn't even recognize that. I didn't even realize that. That's interesting.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to too much, dude. I think they'll still let them operate as like their own company. It's just
as long as they don't fuck with it too much, I'm going to be happy. Because to be honest, for years I thought the WWE storylines were lacking a bit. You know, you and I have talked about that, Brandon, and you know, just as a fan, as a critic, you know, it's what we're doing here on the podcast. We're going to critique this stuff. You know, no hate or anything about it, but like, yeah, it seemed like the storylines were a little hokey, a little lacking for a lot of years. And really since last WrestleMania, when we were in the movie theater watching it here, Brandon, like that was really when I started seeing good storytelling again in WWE. I was like, oh shit. Like, dude. And they just brought out the big guns last WrestleMania too. Like all of us, you had Stone Cold coming back. You had like, oh my God, it was incredible. And since then, you know, it's not like they dipped after that. They just took the ball and kept rolling. It feels like for this whole last year, it's been really with a couple little things that I could be nitpicky about. They've done a great job of telling stories, man.
And imagine it now when they get the UFC's writers.
Well, you know, I don't know. I have to throw it out there because I know Dana White's still a part of UFC. I know it's Endeavor, and you know he sold his shares a long time ago and everything. But then they did that slap fight thing, man. If Dana White gets his hand on stuff, I don't know if it's always he does mostly great stuff. I did not care for that slap fight stuff. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? Like that.
Yeah, that's too much for me, dude.
Well, it could be a
I didn't even want my son, like as a father, I didn't want my son to watch that. Like they're gonna go to school and fucking start slapping each other and shit. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? That's not a sport.
Yeah, no. Put him in a DDT like a fucking real man, all right?
Yeah, damn right. I want a sleeper hold. I want a lariat.
Well, I want to see Colin McGregor talk shit. I mean, he would be the ultimate heel.
Wait, did you just call him Colin? Did you just call him Colin?
Sure did.
Did I say Colin?
You said Colin.
Connor McGregor.
God. Yeah, he actually would be a great fucking asset.
Oh my God, that is so true.
So this could be a retirement plan
for all in WWE.
Yeah, it might be a retirement plan where they do MMA. They're getting too old to fight or don't want to bang their heads out. They move over to WWE and just start that as almost like a feeder.
Yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, dude, you see it a lot. Like Kane Velasquez, he wrestles, right?
You know, at the end of the day, when we're just discussing it, obviously we're not. These are guys that have thought all this through. It is their life, their blood. They know way more than we do. Obviously, this is just our opinions on the matter, and I'm sure they've thought about plans before they made that deal.
Right,
long time ago. You know, let's be real. Like everyone on the executive level over there have been in talks for probably months, maybe even years about this sell. You know, it's news to us, and we're reacting, you know, honestly, in the way that we feel about it. But it's like, I'm sure they've thought about everything that we're discussing right now. You know what I mean? Like they've gone through every twist and turn of what the possibility will be. And it's our job just to critique it a little bit and sit back and watch the fucking madness. And I'm here for it.
I think it's a great move. I'm excited, honestly. It's only going to get bigger, right? Like, fuck.
Brandon, before we close on WrestleMania, in true form with Drinks with Johnny, I had to get us all souvenirs. So I got us bottle openers from WrestleMania. So you got one of those coming up too.
That's dope. Thanks, bro. That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. He wanted to hand it to me last night. He handed me mine. I was like, thank you, man. Can you put it back in the bag? Because I'm not going to hold this for 4 hours.
He's like, thanks for the chore. Can you keep it?
What a dick, man. Wow.
I was watching wrestling, dude. I wasn't going to hold a bottle opener.
He also is like, I want to get Frankie the biggest belt possible. Can you go buy it and I'll pay you back?
No, that's not exactly what happened, but it's pretty accurate. No, I walked in. We all went to the concession line, and we went to where we thought the line started, and they're like, oh, no, it starts back there. And I went, Oh, fuck no. I'll just buy it online. I got to go watch wrestling. And then Sam and our buddy Jeff was like, oh, we still got to get stuff. And I was like, okay, just if you're going to stay here anyway, will you buy me a belt? I'll pay you back. And then they texted me and they're like, how big do you want to go? Because there's like the Universal title, legit, but it's pretty expensive. And I was like, yeah, just go for it. This is my son's first WrestleMania at SoFi. It's something he's going to hold. He'll be my age and still have that belt.
It's badass.
So I was like,
Yeah.
and it's a badass Universal. And he fucking flipped when we opened it up. Sam's got a video. Maybe we'll put in a clip on YouTube or something like that. But like, it's a sick belt. And now he wants to take it everywhere. And I'm like, no, this stays at home, boy.
That's the struggle, dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna start fighting kids for that belt.
Shit. He's such a good kid though. But yeah, dude, WrestleMania was amazing. Amazing weekend of wrestling. Starting with the Hall of Fame and SmackDown at Crypto.com Arena. It was great. Man, I'm just so happy to.
I got to throw this out there, man. WrestleMania week really isn't over because it's always about the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that tonight. So everyone's going to be hearing this podcast on Tuesday morning. We're recording on Monday afternoon. So we haven't seen Raw yet. So we're sorry we're a little late on that, but we will follow up. Maybe on Thursday we'll do a follow-up or something. We could talk about Monday Night Raw or something if we want. We'll see. We're going to find our topics as we go along this season anyway. Like, we'll just go. And by the way, Sam, I thought about this today. You always wear hats. Both of you motherfuckers always wear hats.
Yeah.
Neither one of you is wearing a Drinks with Johnny hat right now. That Brandon did so well. He's got it. He's got it. Oh, he's got it. Okay, good. Sam wears, you want a bottle opener, it's right there on the fucking hat. And that bottle opener actually works. Like I wear it all the time when I'm golfing and stuff. It's that bottle cap. Like we had the idea to put a bottle cap opener on a hat. No, and like all of our ideas, we don't know if it's going to actually fucking work. We're just going for it, right? And I had it at a Rams game, Rams-Raiders game. I was wearing the prototype, and I was like, pop. Well, I was.
Can you pop it while you wear it? I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh yeah, you can. You kind of can't see very well, to be honest. So you kind of like have to find it. But once you do, pop.
But once you get used to it, it's gonna be badass. You're just like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very happy with that design that you put together, Brando. So that's
Thank
why
you. Dude, this is
you need to wear that hat
hat
more often, Sam.
All right.
Favorite hat. Like, dude, look at it. It's badass. It's like, it's a sick hat. It's got dope shit on the inside. Like,
that's all blurred out because
blurred. It's censored. You have to buy it to actually see what's on it.
Well, look at that sexy
shameless
mane.
plug.
That's why
Shameless
he's gotta wear a
plug
hat.
to go to drinkswithjohnny.com for all these wonderful gifts. All right, man. So before we split here, boys, let's get into this week's topic from our fans and our family over there in the Discord. We got Bia. She wanted us to pick our least favorite and our favorite songs from each Avenged album.
Oh, from each album.
From each album. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
so I don't know if we have time to go through it all. You guys are going to do, we got to look on our phones right now, obviously. I'm going to tell you, starting with Sounding, I will say To End the Rapture was my favorite song from that album, just because I remember when I wasn't in the band yet, and the boys I was friendly with them. I knew the guys, obviously, and I think Brian showed me To End the Rapture when he had done the solo work on it, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I don't know what my least favorite song is. That's going to be hard. Like, she's asking me who's in the band to pick my least favorite. It's like, who's my least favorite child? You know what I mean? Like,
No, we all
that's a
know.
little tough.
They're just kidding.
I've only got one. But yeah, I'll just throw this one in there from Sounding is Streets, because Sam was talking about this over the weekend. He's like, you guys think you'll ever play Streets? I'm like, not a chance in hell. Like,
I thought it was one of the few that you guys have never played live. I saw there's a
Yeah.
list of 40 songs or something Avenged has never played. I'm like, oh, what are these? And it went to each album of the ones you've never played live. And
So there's your answer, Bia. All of those are my least favorite from the albums. No, but Streets was the song that I was telling Sam. To my recollection, again, I wasn't in the band at the time, but Streets was a song that Shadows had from his band Successful Failure before that made it onto the Avenged stuff. So I'll pick that one just because it wasn't, in my opinion, a true Avenged song. But Also, Matt could come on later and tell me that I was dead wrong about that. That's just my perception of it.
So you're just making shit up. I like it.
I just making shit up. Go to sounding. What you guys look at the track listing on sounding? Do you even, Brandon? I don't even know if you've ever listened to Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Have you listened to Sounding the Seventh Trumpet?
I don't even know what that is. Lips of the Sea. No, it was my buddy's ringtone when we were in high school. So yeah, I gotta get Lips of the Sea.
Ooh,
I don't listen to that album, so I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've listened to it once.
All right, let's move on to the first album that I was on, Waking the Fallen, then. I think my favorite from that is I'm kind of going to cheat a little bit and say it's 2. It's I Won't See You Tonight, parts 1 and 2 are kind of my favorite from that record, I think. Least favorite. Again, that's so hard for me to like be mean to one of my children, you know? Maybe this is one that we've actually played. Maybe Desecrate Through Reverence. Just because, and it's a personal thing, and it's not the songwriting or anything like that. It's just the production of that song. I just don't really care for it, like the way it sounds. But when we played it live, I think it sounded better. But you know, whatever.
Brandon?
Okay. I'm gonna go favorite Radiant Eclipse.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the guitar. I like the open. Least favorite, Unholy Confessions, because
I know
I was in a band in high school. Didn't know how to play bass. Didn't know how to do anything. I got thrown into this. They said, "Hey, do you want to play bass in our band? Just go buy a left-handed bass because left-handed's cooler." I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So I bought a left-handed bass, and in like a month, we had a show lined up, and one of the songs we were playing was Unholy Confessions. And holy fuck, did we butcher this song so bad. Our guitar player couldn't even play some of the guitar parts, so we had our singer like sing the parts. It was fucking brutal, dude.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
20 years later, you're on a pod. You're co-hosting with me. That's awesome.
Pretty fucking wild to see that come full circle. But I don't. When I hear it, it just brings me back to that time, and it's just like, oh my god, we're on stage playing this, and people were just like, "Yeah, these guys are good."
That song's actually funny because it's tied for maybe my favorite actually, because we always play that. That's our staple song. Like it's
a great song.
It's
a great song.
We just did a tracks episode on that actually, and all of us talked about how it's like our anchor song. Like that's Avenged at that era. That speaks to what it is, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking great song, but you know, it's the bad memory that's attached to it.
Sam, have you gone yet?
It's I don't listen to, I'll be honest with you, we're even going to go to City Evil, and I've listened to it and I listened to some of the hits, but I don't think I fully became a fan until the self-titled, but for the sake of it, obviously Unholy Confessions is my favorite. And it was interesting rewatching the video with my mom, because I played her, oh, you should see Johnny's new video of Nobody, and then we went through the rabbit hole of just watching old ones. But to see like All You Guys So Young and Val in there and all these different, like, it's just really cool. Or we were getting ahead, but Seize the Day and seeing Lacey with her freaking John and Kate +8 haircut, like back in the day.
Oh, she's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's such a dig. I love it. That was a fun dig.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What do we got next?
Let's just jump into City then. You already started it. Yeah. I'll go. I obvious answer is going to be Backcountry is my favorite, because I just have so many great memories of that. Was our breakout song, and obviously it's the first song that we got played on K-Rock here locally. I have so many memories of that being our jumping off point that I kind of have to call it my favorite. It's not. I think there's other songs that may have, it's debatable, maybe have been better written, but that song just, I mean, it's an amazing. It did so much for my life that I can't not make it my favorite off that album. Least favorite. Shit, man, I don't even know. That's again, Pia. You gave me a hard one to right off the bat, because I can't pick a bad. It's hard for me to pick a bad song on.
Well, another one that came up you've never played is Sidewinder. Is that a reason?
I don't know why we've never played Sidewinder, because I actually like that song, but maybe I can't. I remember back in the day, it was a little difficult to pull that song off live, to be honest, I think, with the amount of layers. I mean, you got to remember when we were recording City is when we started putting so many tracks on top of each other. Like those Pro Tools sessions were just stacked with fucking different instruments and stuff going on. And it's kind of difficult to pull that into a live setting sometimes. I think we could do it now, but I don't recall why we've never played that song live, to be honest. But sure, I'll say that. I'll say that one because we never played it live. Thanks, Sam.
There you go. Go ahead, Brando. Throw it to you, bud.
Honestly, dude, this is one where I'm just gonna go with the cop out. I love the entire album. I don't have a bad song. I don't have a least favorite. This one was when I first got into you guys. I just went from a private school with like 4 kids in my 8th grade class to a public school of like 200 kids, which is still small, but holy fuck, it was such a transition. Didn't have any friends. Fell into the crew of people who wore black band t-shirts, got into Avenged Sevenfold, and this album just came out. So it was like my first taste into that world. So this album means a lot to me from that perspective. I can't pick a song I don't like.
All right. I respect that answer. I love it because, obviously I love that album too. Self-titled was where Sam said that he started liking Avenged. So what was your favorite and worst off that one?
Well, I mean, starting off with critically acclaimed right off the bat is just one of the best freaking opening songs ever. But you know what? I think this album and Nightmare are like my go-tos that I listen to all the time. I will say for self-titled, how do you even say it? Brompton
Cocktail?
What is
Brompton
it?
Cocktail?
Yeah.
Brompton Cocktail?
Yeah, that was probably like the one I just kind of go next. I don't really listen to as much. But I love
Fucking
Scream.
rude.
I feel like Scream is just a rad beat, bass, and that bass part in it, just I like it. It's a little different.
Like trying to float my boat over here?
God, there's just so many Gunslinger.
I love that. I love that record too. That was a fun one to make. We were in Burbank making that one, and it was a lot of work, but man, we actually lived up there. We stayed at the Oakwoods and made that. I mean, we went all in on that. Was our first time producing an album ourselves. I mean, we kind of did on City a little bit ourselves. No, not trying to take anything away from Mud Rock and our dear friend Fred Archambault, but self-titled's when we really just like said, all right, we know what we're doing. We know what we want to accomplish. We're going to do it this way. And we just delved in. And I mean, you got out of it, you got a song like Little Piece of Heaven. I mean, that was Jimmy's gift to us, whatever you want to call it. But it was written for a Halloween EP that we never made. And then because it was so damn fucking good to us when we heard it back, we went, no, that's going on the fucking record. Like and now it's like one of our fan staples, and we play it almost every show. And it's fun. It's a fun song.
Dude. That song is a masterpiece. I love that song so much.
Thank you, man.
So much.
A lot of time went into that, and it was a lot of fun time. That's why I have an affinity for that song. There wasn't much struggle in creating that song and laying it down. It was because we thought it was just going to be for an EP. We just had fun with it. And by the end of it was when we realized, like, this is pretty fucking cool that we did this. So we should put it out. So that's my favorite from that record.
What's your least favorite? Do you need me to tell you the tracks?
No, I could think of them. I'm just trying to. Maybe just because it wasn't, I think the Wild Ride, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of the track.
Yeah. Unbound, the Wild Ride.
Unbound, yeah. I think the concept of that song was much better than we executed it, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Like to the end. Like I think it could have been executed a little bit better if I'm being, and again, that's just me being ultra critical of it. I still think it's a great song, but if I'm forced to pick something, I think that song could have been executed a little bit better. Because I think the concept that we had, knowing our mindsets of when we were putting that song together, I think we could have done a little bit better looking back at it.
There you go, Blabbermouth.
Fuck yeah. This is the new season, baby. I'm letting it all hang out. We're going.
Brando.
All right, so now, and then we go to Nightmare. I'm not going to
Brando.
pick a favorite or a non-favorite of that one. Sorry, Bia. I'm just not going to do it. That because for obvious reasons, what that album means to me. If you don't know, and you're just a passerby of the show, that's the last. That was the last pieces of music that we made with my best friend Jimmy the Rev Sullivan. So, yeah, I'm just not going to pick a favorite or a least favorite on that album because it's just too hard. It was an emotional time. I love every painstaking note that we put into that album, and trust me, it was painstaking to go back into the studio without Jimmy and finish that music. So I'm not gonna do that one. You guys can feel free to do that one though.
You know, honestly, I kind of fell off after the White Album, and I just started revisiting anything past that. Honestly, when we started working together, I don't have a least favorite, but I will go a favorite on this one. I mean, Welcome to the Family's good, right? Like that's fun. Nightmare, awesome. Fiction, great. Save Me, I'll probably put as my favorite on that one. Yeah.
That's a fun.
But no least favorite?
Nah.
Not going to touch it either? Not going to touch it either, buddy?
Not going to touch it. Not going to touch it. I know my boundaries.
What do you got, Sam?
Well, my two favorite, I mean, there's just so many good ones, but I mean, Welcome to the Family is a good, just rockin' traditional one, but I love Danger Line. It's got punk in it. It's got a cool story at the end. It pulls at your emotions with the love of a soldier, and they're the storytelling is great. The punk aspect. I'm usually not a military kind of guy, even though it's got the beat. It plays perfectly to tell that story. I think that's kind of one of those ones that I play more often. I mean, I could pick some of the bigger ones that you guys play, but I think that one's kind of a cool Nightmare. Obviously, we've all had our kids sing that song, so there's ties to that, But I gotta give it to also. God, why am I drawing a blank on the name? I have them in front of me. The piano one.
Fiction.
Fiction is just, to me, knowing you at that time, and I don't think we were close friends, but not as close at that time. And just from a person watching you go through that, and then listening to the words. I remember you and Dan had sat in the car listening to it and stuff like that, and Dan had kind of mentioned how special it was. And that was kind of when I was getting to know you more on that side. So that means a lot to me as a friend to you. I have emotion to that, even though I wasn't tied to Jimmy like you are. So I got to say that's probably one of my all-time favorite songs. So
yeah, emotional even just thinking about that song. But
moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Then we got into Hail to the King. Favorite off that one. Shit, man.
Probably my least favorite album of Avenged Sevenfold.
Really?
It's too. I remember when you did it. You're like, we're gonna have a great stadium rock. I feel like just like you guys do these journeys, every album's got its own vibe and feel. I didn't grow up with Metallica or Slayer and things like that. I felt like this was very much a nod to that genre. Hey, these are for our heroes.
Those are our heroes. We definitely pulled our inspirations on that record, and we've said it in every fucking article out there. Our inspirations were definitely AC/DC and Metallica's, both of their Black albums, basically. I know AC/DC's isn't called the Black Album, but you know what I mean. And the reason why, those are just albums that we absolutely fucking loved, and we wanted to see if we could put those styles through the Avenged screen and filter, if you will. It's still us, obviously, but we wanted to see. We were always challenging ourselves of what we're into at the time, and we were looking at it and we're like, dude. It was also very much inspired by orchestrated music, big, classical music as they call it. That was another huge. We were all listening to Hans Zimmer and a bunch of shit that really helped us with our note choices and really helped us with songwriting at that point, to be honest. So yeah, I have a deep love for that album in its entirety. It was another painstaking one because it was the first album without Jimmy, and we were butting heads a lot. I remember butting heads a lot, trying, because it was hard. It was hard for us to take all the layers that we had built up away and try to do something completely different at that time. It was really hard for us to not have thousands of fucking tracks on a song. You know what I mean? So it was like, I loved that it just showed we can go down to our bare bones and still create good music, in our opinions, you know, and that's kind of what we tried to do on that record. So I would say, for me, I think Planets is probably my favorite song on that record. Either Planets or Coming Home. I really have an affinity for Coming Home. And my least favorite is which one? Trying to think of the name. I got to look at the track listing. It's the one that's a little bit more GNR inspired. Yep, I can't even.
Shepherd of Fire, Hederick,
not Shepherd
Planets, St. James, Doing Time, Crimson Day,
Doing Time. I think Doing Time. It's
a
fun
Sublime
song.
did it
And again,
better?
this is gun to my head, people listening at home. This is gun to my head. I have to pick one. All right, like I'm not shitting on my own fucking songs. You know?
Yeah.
That's not what the article's gonna say.
Yeah, right.
For sure, right?
Fuck,
No,
man.
I think Doing Time. It was just it's a great song. It's a fucking great song. It's just it's one that I don't go back to listen to very often.
Well, that album has the most songs live of you want to see a crowd just be like, yes, like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, Shepherd of Fire,
and that was kind of
Yeah.
that was kind of
Hail the King.
It was a conscious effort of how we were writing that at that time.
yeah. Brad
it
Williams.
was a
Call back to
constant.
Brad Williams. The first time I saw him live, he came
out
out
to
to
Hail
Hail to the King as his intro song.
Nah, that's cool. I love that. And then we got the stage.
Well, Brandon, did you go?
No, I didn't go.
Oh no, you didn't.
Fuck
Go ahead.
me.
Sorry, Brenda. Go
No,
for it, Brenda.
favorite, I'd go Shepherd of Fire.
Okay.
And I'm
Opening
gonna
track.
get a lot of hate for this one. Least favorite, Hail to the King.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Your friends are honest with you, Johnny.
I love it. No, I love hearing it. I mean,
But
hey, dude, when you as an artist, as a musician, you put out the music and then you let everyone else critique it. Like that's the
Yeah.
whole point. I don't.
But again, that's not me saying
it's not going to hurt my feelings.
that's not me saying I hate the song. It's just I would listen to it last on the album.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what I
that's
mean?
fair. That's fair.
It's still fucking great. The guitar solo is fucking awesome. Like, yeah, I hear it in my head right now.
Now you're going to go back and listen to it. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that. But then we go into the stage, our last full length album that we released in 2016. Yeah, man, I don't know. What would be my least favorite on that? I think my favorite might be Exist, just because I'm really proud of the concept that we were able to actually, going back to my least favorite, Unbound on self-titled. This one, I think we knew what the concept was and what we were going to do. And I think, in my opinion, we nailed it musically. I think we actually absolutely nailed that one. Least favorite. I'd have to look at the tracks on that one. Give me a second. Someone else go for a second.
All right, I'll pick it up. All right, so I'll go Sunny Disposition,
That's a
favorite.
good one.
That's a
Ooh,
great fucking song.
Thank you. I love
But
that
if
too.
you're counting like your fucking deluxe album, dude, wish you were here. Like that Floyd cover, come on.
Are we counting the deluxe on these? Are we counting deluxe?
Can we?
I
Well,
don't know.
that
I think
changes
that's
mine.
a cop out. That's a cop out, dude. Because those are
There's a
covers.
cop out.
What do we do?
All right.
We'll do B-sides afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we'll ask the fans after they
Ask
listen
the
to this
fans.
episode
Thursday.
what they
Thursday we'll do
wanna
B-sides.
There we go.
I'll tell you right now, they're all my least favorite Avenged songs.
God only knows is the best B-side. Let's.
I'd have to
was my
go
pick.
back and
was
listen,
my
man.
pick.
I
Thank you.
don't have a least favorite. I don't know. I'd have to listen to the album again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with too. Like, I don't know. Maybe it would be.
I would.
Maybe Fermi. Maybe Fermi. Fermi Paradox. If I had to pick one, I still I love that song though. But like, if I had to pick one, that would be the one for me.
I picked my least favorite as Exist, just because for the same
Whoa.
not that it's a bad song, but the same reason I'm not a huge fan of The Decline. I don't need a song that's long. Like I want to just go to my thing. So
You're
If
a
I
new
did-
generation. You're a new generation.
yeah,
You
I'm
can't
such a
handle
hip.
long songs.
I'm so hip,
Get back
guys.
on
You start
TikTok.
listening to my young thing. But I gotta say, my favorite for that album is Creating God, and I love it because it sounds it's so reminiscent of what I grew up with Stone Temple Pilots and Faith No More. You just feel all
Definitely
that
90s.
like, and it's a different side that I know that obviously influences you guys heavily, but that one to me just brings me back to a time, and I love that song. And I feel like it kind of got shuffled off to the side live wise, but that's a really good one.
Awesome. And then of course we get into Life Is But a Dream. Which
Well,
is
hold
coming
on.
out
I've
June.
got to throw an honorable mention in there because
Let's go.
I do listen to this song a lot. I really like it. Mad Hatter.
Oh, that one song's great.
I forgot about that song.
That is a good song.
I like that song a lot.
That's a good one.
That's a B-side though, ain't it? That came out on the deluxe.
Did it or no?
No, it was on the Call of Duty one.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's on your Black Rain EP.
I got to listen to that song again, to be honest.
That's a good song, dude. I like that one a lot because it's so different.
Yeah. Well, cool. And then, like I said, we get into Libad, Life Is But a Dream, and we cannot talk about it because it's not out until June 2nd. So
I got lots of favorites.
My favorite on that is Nobody. My least favorite on that is Nobody. No, not really. I'm really excited about this album. I know Sam's heard all of it. Brandon, you've only heard a couple of songs. I've only heard a couple songs. I'm a bad friend.
I've only heard one.
Yeah.
I've heard one song, but it's funny. Nobody, I actually heard fucking like whenever I first met you, you guys were like working that song.
The demo. I showed you.
Yeah, I remember hearing a demo.
That was the first one.
Holy fuck. Okay. So to see what it turned into, wow. Fucking awesome work.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Really excited for the new album to come out and everybody to hear it. I'm excited for Brandon to hear it. I'm sorry I'm not sending you a watermark copy. It's just my thing.
Bro,
I know.
It's all good. I know how bad you are with technology.
If when you come here later on in the month, I'll play you the entire album. But yeah, it's I'm really excited about it, guys. You guys know, you guys have both become very close to me over the last 4 years, obviously. And Brandon, for sure, only really knows me as the podcast Johnny, as we're talking about different hats. So he doesn't really know me as the bassist of Avenged. So it's good. I'm really excited for you to meet that guy, Brandon.
Me too. Can't wait to meet bassist Johnny.
Yeah, seriously. No,
he's a dick.
That side project got revigorated. I guess I got to go back to my side project, guys. I'm really sorry. But yeah, so no, it's really exciting. We're actually going to have to cut this off right now because I got to go to rehearsal because we got, as you guys know, we got shows announced, everything like that. It's a really exciting time for, like I said, my side project, and I got to get back to it. So I want to thank you guys again for starting off season 5 with me this way. This was fun, guys. Like, let's be honest, this was a fun way of doing this show, right?
It's going to be fun. And anybody has any ideas or anything, just send it our way. You never know. We might play a game or bring up your topic,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
you came up with I'm gonna cut you off because fuck it. It's our tagline for season 5. It was season 5. We don't give a fuck.
That is the tagline. You nailed it. Season 5 definitely is. We don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, also, Brandon's gonna have to cut us off because you and I like to take up all the wind in the room. So Brandon's just gonna have to be a little more forceful of pushing his way in.
Oh yeah,
he's more polite than we are.
I am. Sorry. I don't know.
The sexiest voice is the quietest.
I know, that's right. The fans really want to hear your voice more. We need to do an episode of just ASMR for you, dude.
Yeah,
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm in for that, man. I'll tell you what, bro. I don't know if you know this, but I was voted DJ of the year at one point in time because of my radio show. So there we go.
Wow.
Dumb jack off.
This is something we're gonna have to get into that on a different episode because I definitely want to ask you about being the DJ of the year and what the fuck that actually means.
And who voted on this is the question.
Yeah. Was Sean the only voter? Like, come on, let's go. But
my mom likes me too, Brandon.
Maybe we'll follow that up on Thursday. Sam's got a great idea for a follow-up on Thursday. We'll make sure we get that out to you guys. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, everything like that, because we don't know how often or when we're going to drop episodes this season. It's just going to happen when we get together and do our thing. So you're going to want to make sure to follow. If you're enjoying this, make sure you follow all those fun things, subscribing everywhere. I know you don't want to hear me say it, and I don't even want to have to say it, but there are people out there that I need to say it to so that they do it. So I apologize, but make sure you're doing that because we're going to have a lot more fun. There's so many more topics. You guys are going to be able to go on social media, go to the Discord channel, whatever it is, tweet at us, comment at us, and let us know topics that you want us to discuss. And I promise we'll get around to most of them. So that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing today, whatever you're listening to, fucking whatever the fuck that is, you know. But enjoy whatever it is you're doing in life. We love you. Brandon's laughing his ass off. All right, love you guys. Bye. Next time.
Fuck, man.